Okay, awesome. I hope all of you guys are doing great. Are you guys able to see my screen? Are you guys able to see my screen? Okay. So I wholeheartedly welcome all of you to this live SQL course, and hopefully you are going to enjoy this course, and also you are going to make use of this course to have a nice foundation of SQL. Okay. Then what what comes is, who are we? I mean, you guys are attending this course. Some of you know about me, some of you know about our academy, but most of you really don't know. So we are Blismas Academy. We are from Blismas Academy. Okay. And we are a learning wing of a company called Blismas Solutions Private Limited. We are a learning wing of Blismas Solutions Private Limited, and Blismas Solutions provides three important services. One is training, second one is staffing, the third one is consulting. And all of our services are only in the space of data and AI. Data and AI. Okay, that is what we are. Okay, and as a part of our academy, we have published multiple courses in Udemy. When you go to the Udemy, you can check the different courses published from our Blismas Academy. Apart from that, we also run a YouTube channel named Blismas Academy, where we have published almost 740 plus videos in the channel. Okay, you can also access this YouTube channel by clicking on this link, or you can use this link. You can just search for a Blismas Academy on YouTube. You are able to find us. Okay, that is what we are. As a part of our academy, we have trained almost 1,000 plus professionals across the different parts of the globe, and also we have helped to upskill, reskill, and with that they're able to get into the job or change the job and all those things. Okay, so that is what we are. Okay, now that we understood who we are, let us get into the course. Okay, details of the course. Okay, which all of you are awaited. So in terms of course, the course name is SQL course, or SQL course, or a SQL foundations course. Okay, and as a part of this free course, we are conducting 10 sessions. 10 sessions, and each session is 1 hour each. Okay, and in terms of date, we have just started the course. Today is the first day, and since it involves 1 hour class, it will go up to 19 December, because we are conducting the class only on the weekdays. We're conducting the class only on the weekdays. Okay, so, and the time is at 8:30 p.m. IST. I know some of you are joining from US and UK. Depending upon this, please calculate your time and attend the classes. Okay, that is the time and also the date on which we are conducting the classes. Okay, and when we do any trainings, right, the trainings are always blend of concepts and also hands-on. Means we cover the important concepts of those particular topics or a particular course, and complement that with the required hands-on. In our SQL course, we are doing the hands-on on SQL Server. SQL Server. Okay. So as I said, we'll do the hands-on on the SQL Server. And if you don't have the SQL Server yet, you can install the SQL Server by going through a installation video in a installation playlist of Blissmas Academy. We have our playlist, Blissmas Academy playlist, wherein we have provided the installation video for the SQL Server. Okay, and the sessions are going to be interactive. I mean, whoever know me and whoever know our academy, sessions are always interactive. Okay, so the way you can interact with each other is you can unmute yourself and talk through your mic, or you can also respond through the chats. Okay, ideally we would like to hear your voice. Okay, and don't be complacent. I can call anybody's name and ask the questions, ask their opinions. Okay, ask their opinions. Okay, so ask their opinions. Be ready to communicate with me, communicate with our trainers. Okay, and as and when you complete answering the question, please mute yourself, because I know all of you are sitting in your silent, quiet place, but sometimes there may be background noise. Okay, that's the reason you have to please unmute and talk to us, and mute after you are done with this one. Okay, that's the thing. Okay, then let us get started. Okay, are there any questions on the course? Anybody has any questions on apart from whatever I covered before we get started? Any questions from anyone before we get started on the course? Any questions, anybody? Looks like no questions. Okay, shall we get started? Shall we? Okay, let's get started. Okay, so Chetan is asking me what are the topics in the course. At a high level, we are planning to. Are you able to see my screen, Chetan? Are you able to see my screen? Okay, so at a high level, we are going to cover the important aspects of the data and storage, and then RDBMS concepts. Okay, and important aspects of the database and components, and then we'll touch upon database object and cover only the table, and then important aspects of the keys, like only we'll cover primary key and also foreign key, and then some important constants. Then we'll get into the SQL, and in the SQL, different types of SQL commands, and how do you insert the data into the tables, and important aspect of classes, subqueries, joins, and if time permits, we'll cover the set operators also. These are the important topics which we will be covering as a part of this course. Okay, got it, Chetan? Awesome. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so before we really get into the course of SQL, start learning the SQL. So basically what happens is, when you say we have to start learning the SQL, people will think, okay, we'll get started with the SQL and also start punching something. Okay, so before you learn what is SQL, why do we need SQL? We need to understand some of the important concepts of data storage and all those things. Okay, so let me cover those things. Okay, Anshu, if I ask you what is data, what would be your answer, Anshu? What is data according to Anshu? Quickly, Anshu. Aisha, what do you think is a data? Aisha Siddiqui. Chetan, what do you think is a data? Chetan, what do you think is a data? Quickly, guys, you have to be alert. Please be alert so that data is core of the company. Arun is saying data is core of the company. Okay, thank you. Dvijesh is saying information. Asina is saying collection of text and numbers. Okay, wonderful. Thank you, guys. Okay, so usually when I ask this question to people, yeah, people tend to say data is information. I say I strongly object. Data is a raw facts and figures. Yes, Arunava is saying data is a raw facts and figures. Okay. So, whenever you are capturing the data, you are trying to capture whether the qualitative or quantitative variables. Okay. The facts and statistics you collect for reference or analysis can be regarded as a data. Okay, so very simple way, data is a raw facts and figures. Data is a raw facts and figures. Okay, what are the different types of data you have uncovered? Kushal Gowda, what are the different types of data you have uncovered? Manikanta, what are the different types of data I have seen? Guys, please see, if you are not answering my questions, if you are not it is going to be boring. Please start punching either some text as a part of the chat or unmute yourself. Okay, Arun is saying customer data. Thank you, Arun. You are very good. Okay, Aishwarya, what do you think? What are the different types of data? Aishwarya. Okay, so we have numeric data. Right? Whenever we think of data, we think the data is the numbers. Okay, numerical data. Awesome, Asina. Okay. Then apart from that, we do have textual data. Means whatever you update as a part of your Twitter, X, or Facebook, or Instagram, whatever you update, that is a textual data, right? So we have numeric data, we have textual data. When you combine these two, we get alphanumeric data. Right? Then we do have image data. The nice pictures what you take for Instagram and post them, right? That is also your data. Apart from the nice pictures what you take and post, there are images from the scientific experiments. So Arun, what do you see here? What is this, Arun? Arun Maharaja, Maharana. What is this, Arun? What do you see here? X-ray. Okay. Arun is saying Manikanta. Yeah. Don't you see any love symbol here, guys? Arun Maharaja and Manikanta, do you see only X-ray here? Okay. I'm just kidding. Yeah. You guys are right. It is X-ray. Okay. This is also a data. Right? This is also a data, right, Sujana? So we have different types of data within that: numeric data, textual data, alphanumeric data, and we have image data. Image data is not only the nice pictures what you take and post it in Instagram, they are also coming out from the image scientific experiments or medical or different types of things. Okay, that is also different types of data. Any idea what are the other types of data? Samana, what are the other types of data? What you can think of, Samana or Sakshi or Sahana? What do you think are the other types of data? primary data and secondary data. Manikat, audio, yes, Manikat, you were absolutely right. Okay, so we have audio data, right? So special character data. Yeah, Priyanka, you were also right. Video data as well. Okay, Sabita, what are the wonderful songs you are listening to these days, Sabita? Sabita, quickly.
Yes, sir. I'm listening to latest Tamil songs or Hindi songs.
Awesome. That is also a data. Apart from that, we do have some kind of, for example, when you when you call a customer support, it says, "Hey, your voice is being recorded for the training purposes." They'll say that, right? That is also a data. And Priyanka said, "Video data, video." I think I heard, I heard Jayant is watching a wonderful song these days, right? Jayant, which song you are watching these days, Jayant? Karthik? MP3. Okay. I mean, I'm just asking, are you watching Kusu Kusu or Ravalaya, Kavalaya, something that? Kiran, which song you are watching? Kiran? Okay. So it is not only the songs or some shorts what you watch in YouTube. The video data is also coming from different sectors. For example, from medical sector, I think it is a sonogram which has a video of kid yet to be born, which is so serene, right? That is also a data. Okay, so what we understood so far is data is the raw facts and figures. Okay, and different types of data is numeric data, textual data, alphanumeric data, then we have audio data, we have video data, and also image data. These are the different types. Now the question, Karthik CM, what is information according to you, Karthik CM? What is information according to you, Karthik CM? Sahana, Sakshi, what do you think is the information? Or who are any volunteer? What is information? Any volunteer? If possible, unmute yourself and speak, if possible. What is information? Anyone?
Processed data.
Processed data. Awesome. Yes. So I told you guys, data is a raw fact, but that is not information. Now I have to tell you what is information, right? So data that is subjected for processing, the outcome of that is information. Information is interpreted data. Information is interpreted data. Information is always meaningful. Right? Sujana, you got it, right? Sujana, now? Yashaswini, you got it, right? Data is raw facts and figures. Information is interpreted data. Guys, got it? Are you cool? Are you able to understand what is data and what is information now? Say yes. I mean, say yes and this one. Oh, say awesome. Okay, thank you. Thumbs up, at least thumbs. So that I know you guys are there. Otherwise, you'll be watching some YouTube something. Okay. Now let us move forward. Let us move forward. So tell me one thing. At least you guys have to tell me whether the pace at which I'm covering is fine for all of you guys. Is it cool? The pace, am I going too fast or am I going too slow? Okay, cool. Okay. Now let us move forward. We understood what is data. Let us understand why do we need data? Okay. First question is Aishwarya, TM Aishwarya. Do we need the data, Aishwarya? Do we need the data? Sakshi, do you need the data? BB Hajira is saying yes. Do we need the data? Ashu is saying yes. Haruna is saying yes. Okay, wonderful. Yes, we do need the data. Panda is also saying yes. We need the data. Okay. Now the question is, Vijesh. Question is, Vijesh, why do we need the data? Why do we need the data, Vijesh or Girish? Why do we need the data to find trends and patterns? Awesome. Arun Maharaj, information. Okay. Okay. To learn pattern and take decisions. Okay. Very good. Very good. Awesome. Okay. Yes. We need the data, Vijesh, to analyze. Okay. So the first and foremost thing is to use it in the future, isn't it? So this one, yes. Yashaswini is saying problems. Okay. So first and foremost thing is to use it in the future. That is such a simple thing, right? Yes, but that is sometimes common sense is uncommon, right? So to use it in the future. And as some of you said, to derive the insights. And also, some of you said to derive the patterns. Okay, for better decision making. Yes, Sakshi, you are right. Okay. So when I say deriving the insights, see, remember one thing: data on its own, is not useful. Okay, until we translate the data into the insights, will not be able to derive the value from the data. Okay, so we'll derive the insight. That is when the data becomes valuable. Okay, now let us say a company like which is a retail company. Okay, retail company. The name of the company is Santra. Name of the company is Santra, not Mintra, Santra. Okay, Santra. So the Santra company is there in the business from last 10 years in a retail marketing. Now, if they want to know what kinds of goods are sold, if they analyze the data, they can find the insights. Like if you see here, I'm just taking a hypothetical example. Clothes are the ones which are sold most. Right? Okay. So that is how we can derive the insights. The data is useful to derive the insights and also to derive the patterns. Okay, we can find the patterns in the data, like whether the numbers are trending upwards, or we can also have a correlation between the two sets of numbers. For example, now if somebody goes to a either Zudio or DMart, what happens is usually the the correlation is, for example, now if the person, usually most of the people buy more items which are having a less price. Okay, which are having a less price. So that is a correlation. Like that, we can derive the patterns. Of course, the last thing is for the future use. Okay, like we may want, for example, maybe about the crops, maybe about some biological experiments, maybe about some mechanical experiments. They would have collected the data. So that based on that data, they would be doing R&D. And also the data is needed for the greater personalization. For example, if somebody watching lot of Korean series in a Netflix, for those users will get lot of recommendations of Korean series. Okay, and also to identify the new opportunities. Okay, so for all these things we need the data. Awesome, right? Any questions so far? Anybody? Anshu, Arun Maharaj, Arunava, Asif. Any questions? Girish, Asina. So far so good. Yashasini, cool. Aishwarya, Vivo, VBS user. Are you guys having any questions so far? Wonderful. Awesome. Let's move forward. So far we understood Data is a raw facts and figures, and information is a processed data. And we have different types of data. And also we understood data is needed. If the data is needed, we need to store the data somewhere, right? What do you think, Sadia? Sadia Alim. Do we need to show the data? See, we understood so far, we need the data, right? Sadia, Sahana, Sakshi. We think we understood we need the data. But if we need the data, Sahana, Sakshi, we need to store it somewhere, isn't it, Sujana? Okay. Now the question is, if I take you guys back 50 years back, where the modern day computers were emerging. Yashaswini, how they used to store the data in olden days? Tell me from the software perspective. Software perspective. Software perspective. ROM, files, okay? Yes, Aishwarya is definitely right. Okay. See, they used to store the data. They used to store the data in files. It can be CSV. It can be, yeah, mostly it should be CSV. Okay. No, Sakshi, I am not talking from the hardware perspective. I am talking from the software perspective. Okay. So we used to store the data in files. The question is, Sabita, did they always store the files in text files? Sakshi, you were right, database, but we'll come there. Okay. So Sabita, did they always store the data in text files? No. Okay. Then they started storing the data in Excel files. Excel files. But the question now is, Sakshi, Hasina, why did they start storing in Excel files? Why not only in CSV files? Hasina, what do you think? Sadia, Aishwarya, why do you think Excel? Why not only in CSV files, guys? Why not? Anybody? Any? Wonderful, Vijesh. Wonderful, Vijesh. Vijesh is saying organized. Yes, easy to. Okay, wonderful, Arunava. Okay, awesome, great base. So we are storing. They started storing the data in Excel. It is since it is easy to store. It is in a organized format. It is in a organized format. Yes, Aishwarya, because the tables are organized format, right? It is easy to store, it is iterative. Okay. Now the question is, did we continue to store the data in only spreadsheets? Yeah, Manikanta, you are right. Manikanta, did we always store the data in Excel sheets or spreadsheets? Manikanta, any other format of storing? Documents, CSV, we already discussed about. Yes, Arunava, yes. We started storing in even some of the other files like JSON or XML files. So they are semi-structured formats. Semi-structured format. Okay. We started storing in this. Okay. Now the next question. So Srujana, is there any other way of storing and processing the data? Srujana? Yashaswini? Is there any other way of storing and processing the data? Any volunteers? Is there any other way of storing and processing the data? Cloud, Jaypal is saying cloud. I'm talking from the software perspective. Cloud storage, no. I'm talking from the software perspective. Somebody has given this answer, but I want this answer now. Sahana, Sakshi, any volunteers? Data warehouse, Sakshi, you are right. Database, Sabna, yes. Databases, which are also called as RDBMS systems. which are also called as RDBMS systems. Yes, there are different formats. My point at the moment, to drive me towards SQL, I want RDBMS systems. Okay, but some of you are right. Sakshi and some of you are like data lakes also we can store, data warehouse also we can store. Okay, we can store in a MDM. Okay, we can store in all those things. But for my focus as of now, RDBMS systems. Okay, so we understood what is data, what is information, and we understood different types of data. We understood that we need the data for deriving the patterns and insights. And in order to do that, we need to store the data. There are different ways of storing the data, like files, spreadsheets, JSON XML files, and also RDBMS systems. Now the question is, anybody can tell me. See, if you can unmute your mic and tell me, that will be great. What is an RDBMS system? What is an RDBMS system? If you can unmute yourself and tell me, that will be great.
Relational database management system.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay. RDBMS is nothing but relational database management system. Okay. It is Hasina. Yes. It is relational database management system. Okay. It is relational database management system. Okay. Now tell me more about it. Who can tell me more? What is relational database management system? If you have to define it further, Yashaswini is saying it is a software system that allows you to create, update, administration. Very good, very good. Anshu, awesome, Anshu. Okay. Store the data in table format. Arunava, correct. You are right. Right. Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? Yes. So first and foremost thing is, if you have observed me doing, I'm always saying, when you guys said about the memory, core, all those things, say that, hey guys, I want the software of how the data is stored in a software. Right? So I am talking about a RDBMS here. RDBMS is nothing but a relational database management system. The relational database management system is a software. It is a software. Remember, it is a software. Okay. Somebody already defined it beautifully. I'm just extending the same thing. Software used to store, manage, query, and retrieve the data stored in the relational database. It is also called as a RDBMS. First of all, it is a software. Why are we using this software? To store, manage, query, and retrieve the data stored in the relational database. Cool? You guys are cool? Very easy, right? Very easy. It's a software. First of all, remember, it is a software. Okay. Now that we understood RDBMS, who are the different RDBMS vendors? Sanjay, Sandhya, who are the different RDBMS vendors? Means when I say vendors, who are the ones who make and sell? Asif, awesome Asif, right? Asif, give the answer. No, Asina. Yes, Dijesh, awesome. Asina, yes, you are right. You are right. SSMS, I don't know. Yes, wonderful. So, different RDBMS vendors are Microsoft. We have SQL Server from Microsoft, and we have Azure SQL again from Microsoft, and we have Oracle from Oracle. Okay, and yes, SSAS is not a RDBMS. It is a more of a Asina. That is more of a the ETL tool, SSAS. Okay, Asina, you got it right, Asina. SSMS, you should say SSMS. Okay, okay. Sakshi, yes, you can say MongoDB is more of a NoSQL database. Sakshi, okay. Anyway, now some of the RDBMS vendors are Microsoft, and we have Oracle, we have PostgreSQL, yeah, MariaDB, yeah, right, okay, and we have IBM DB2, yes, Shank, you are right, IBM DB2, and we have MySQL. Some of them said, okay. These are the different vendors or companies or forums which develop the RDBMS and sell or give it for free. And some of you said SQL, that is also right. Okay, these are some of the RDBMS vendors who develop, create, and sell or provide the RDBMS for use to be used by end users. Okay. Now the question is, Surjana or Sudarshan, what are the different tasks of RDBMS? What are the different tasks of RDBMS? Sandhya, Sakshi, can you just tell me what are the different tasks of RDBMS? Anyone, quickly. Anyone, any volunteers also can come. It will be great if you guys can unmute yourself and tell me.
Add a row.
Add a row, okay. Anything else? Anything else? Anyone? Anyone? Store the data. Managing the database. Okay, that's good. That's good. Anything else? Anything else from anyone? Srinu?
Storing and retrieving the data.
Storing and retrieving the data. Awesome. Okay. Anything else? Anything else? Yes, Vijay, awesome. CRUD operations. Yes. Let us understand that. At a high level, the tasks of RDBMS can be divided into two important parts. Okay, two important categories. One is create and modify the structure of the data. That is the most important thing. And the second one is manipulating the data records. Okay, these are the two important major tasks of any RDBMS. Okay. So when we say create and modify the structure, when I say structure, what am I talking? When I say structure, what structure am I talking here? Arunava, what structure I am talking, Arunava? Girish, what structure?
Columns and rows.
Absolutely, tables. Okay. So the structure which holds the data, that being defining the tables and columns. Okay. One of the most important tasks of RDBMS is creating and modifying the structure. Okay, like when I say defining the column, creating the column, basically creating the table. Through that, you are creating the rows and columns. Okay, and also creating the relationships. So when I say relationships, what kind of a relationship I am talking here? Girish, am I talking about girlfriend, boyfriend, mother-in-law, father-in-law? Am I talking about that? Arunava? Which relationship I am talking here? Manikanta? Girlfriend, boyfriend?
Between tables.
Between the data. Okay, all the guys, young guys are thinking, oh, relationship. I am talking about a situationship. I am talking about relationship. I am not talking about that. I am talking about how one table is related to another table. How one table is related to the... Yes, Priyanka, yes, you are right. Yeah, Shashank, you are right. Okay, I am talking about that. Okay. And then when you talk about the manipulating the data records, somebody, I think Vijesh or somebody already said this. Okay. So we manipulate the data records. By the CRUD task. Okay. When I say manipulate, what am I saying manipulate? What is manipulate? Anybody? What is manipulate? Rabia, what is manipulate?
Editing.
Come again, please.
Editing.
But when I say manipulate, what is the literal meaning of the manipulate? Let us say if I say, hey, I'm manipulating Dujesh now. What does it mean? Correction. Sudarshan is saying correction. Okay. To change. No.
Additional.
No, I'm talking in general, not in terms of database. Let us say if I am manipulating Arun Maharana, what does it mean? Like I think somebody is saying influence. Okay, 1 minute. Riaz is saying influence. but not right influence, right? Manipulating means it is like wrongly influencing to do something, right? That is manipulation. Am I talking about that here? Yeah, confused. Yes, changing. Okay, changing for your this one. Okay, no, we are not talking about that manipulation here. As somebody said, when you say manipulation in terms of data, it means change. It means change. It means change. Okay. Yes. So we do that through the CRUD operations. CRUD operations are create, read, update, and delete. Okay. These are the CRUD operations. So CRUD operations are, so C means create, which is usually used to create the table and inserting. And also we have a read, okay, R, which is selecting the rows and columns. And we have U, update, and which will help us to edit the structures, and delete. Either we can delete the row or the table. Okay, these are the CRUD operations. Okay. Apart from these, any other functions of the RDBMS? Any other functions of the RDBMS? Hasina, any other functions of the RDBMS? Any other functions of the RDBMS?
Salt.
Come again, please.
Salt.
Salt. What is salt?
Sort.
Sorting.
Sorting.
Okay. Sorting. Okay. That in a way comes as a part of the manipulation only. Okay. Apart from this, some of the important tasks of the RDBMS are performing the backups, scheduled backups. If there are any backups scheduled by the administrator, that will be done by the RDBMS. Okay. And if for some reason you want to maintain the different databases, that is done by the RDBMS. And also the most important thing is controlling and monitoring the user access and permissions. Okay, controlling and monitoring the user access permissions. Okay, these are the some of the additional RDBMS stuff. Okay, these are some of the additional RDBMS stuff. Okay. Okay, so far so good. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Any questions? So far so good. Sakshi, Sandhya, Sudarshan, Aishwarya, Shasini. Okay, any other questions? Okay, wonderful. If there are no questions, we will move forward. Okay. Okay, I think what will happen is if I start this, it will take more time. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll start this topic tomorrow, because if I move forward, it will take minimum 15 to 20 minutes. Okay. Okay. So I think before we wind up the class for today, can you tell me if there are any questions so that we'll be able to take up the questions? That's all for now. Like and subscribe and turn on notifications for future videos. Thank you.